In the previous video, we identified the importance of understanding the entire suite of web parts that ship with SharePoint. However, from a developer's point of view, it is perhaps even more important that you understand the controls and components that you can use in your solution. So here we have a very simple visual web part, and notice that on the toolbox we have a SharePoint control section. And for example, there's the date time control that we have used in previous demos. However, that's not the whole story. If I start typing SharePoint : to access the SharePoint namespace, there are many different types of controls that we can use. For example, we can use the people editor. Now the people editor will allow you to type in the user's email or account name and have that verified by your security provider, such as Active Directory for example. So we will set its ID to people picker and specify that it runs on the server, and we will allow the user to type in the names that they want to search for. We will then add a simple line break, and then we will add a list box, a standard ASP.NET list box. We will also have a button, and what we will do is, when the user clicks a button, we will retrieve the selected people from the people picker and populate the list box, just to show you how to access the account details provided by the control. We will have a very simple button that has the text value of Go, and then the onClick event handler, which we will wire up in a few seconds' time. We will name the list box something appropriate, such as selected people. So let's have a look at the code behind file for this user control now. And what we will do is create our event handler for the click of that button. So the event was called getPeople, and we will provide the appropriate event signature. So we will have an object parameter and an event args parameter. It's just a simple ASP.NET button. And when the user clicks this button, we will access the properties of the people picker. And so what we will do is retrieve the comma-separated list of the accounts that are in the people picker and store that in our string variable. What we can then very easily do is split that string into an array so that we turn comma-separated lists of accounts into an array of strings. And then we will iterate through that array of strings and populate the list box, just to show you how to access the selected accounts in the people editor control. We can iterate through the array of string variables very straightforwardly with a for each iteration. And we have split the string on the comma, which is what the people editor control will return to us. Our list box is called selected people, so we can literally just use the items.add method to populate that list box with these string variables. And that's all there is to it. So the result of this minimal effort is quite useful. We will save and build our solution, and we will deploy it to our SharePoint test site. And then we can switch to Internet Explorer. We will edit our page and insert our web part that we have just created. And the web part uses that people editor control. So that's located in the custom category. There we have our control example and a few simple clicks and it's on our page. And so we can now start using our people editor control. Well, let's first of all try searching for a user. Let's try Andy J. And there our people picker has found Andy Jacobs. Let's try searching for admin. Now our people picker reports to us that there's no exact match found, and I'm sure you've seen that behaviour in SharePoint before. Notice we can use this search dialog for finding additional users, so in this case we'll find the Contoso administrator. And then when we click go, these users are added to our list box. So it's well worth your time investigating some of these inbuilt controls, and in this example we've used the people editor.